I'm not, sir. I'm here to challenge jurisdiction.
Challenge it.
I'm here on special appearance to challenge jurisdiction, sir.
Challenge it then. Do what you want to do.
Okay, well, I'd like to see.
Because of the unfairness of the laws that would fraudulently assume if I take a lawyer that I would be giving up my right to be one of the sovereign people and be fraudulently assumed to be a legal fiction defendant. Yes,
Okay,
I was
sir,
legally.
you are to appear in court as directed. I'm not going to argue with you, Mr. Martin. I understand your sovereign citizen argument. It's not the first time I've seen it or heard it. You are under the jurisdiction of this court. This court has jurisdiction. Okay, you have a First Amendment right, certainly, but you are here for an arraignment, not to lecture me on sovereign citizen beliefs, okay? I'm trying to get to
Today, we are diving into the curious world of the sovereign citizen. These are those individuals who fiercely champion their belief in the sanctity of individual rights and challenge the very foundations of our legal system. In our first case, we visit Judge Clark's courtroom for a classic encounter in which he makes short work of a sovereign citizen who was previously declared unfit to stand trial due to competency issues. But now the defendant is back in court after being deemed competent. Although he insists on representing himself, not a good idea. Our second case features a notorious figure in the Michigan legal system, Eric Martin. Known across multiple counties for his antics, has somehow managed to avoid lengthy jail time despite his contemptuous demeanor. Today, however, he finds himself behind bars, appearing before Judge Shackelford via Zoom from jail.
2 cases set for today. He was representing himself. We'd found him competent to represent himself, but apparently over the weekend something happened and he's in custody.
Is he set for this afternoon?
1:30 docket. But there, I saw you had done a order revoking his release, and I couldn't find where we were appointed or if he was continuing to represent himself.
I still want to represent myself. And also, does this court recognize the Americans with Disabilities Act?
I got no idea what you're talking about, sir.
I'm being held at the jail and they're not recognizing the Americans with Disabilities Act.
That's between you and the jail.
Am I in your custody, Your Honor?
Huh?
Am I in your custody?
Yeah, you're in custody.
Am I in your custody?
In my custody?
Yes,
No,
sir.
sir. I am a judicial. I don't have anybody in my custody. There's a separation of powers. The executive branch is one who maintains in custody. If you want to represent yourself, you need to educate yourself. But now we have attorneys appointed to represent you. Right. He's set for, his information's been filed in these cases? All right, Mr. Thompson, you understand at any point in time that you can ask to have an attorney appointed to represent you?
I understand that, sir.
All right. And it's up to you if you wish to have one. I can appoint one at any time that you ask. Do you still wish to represent yourself?
Yes, sir.
All right. We're here today on the case number 22-30-36. Madam Clerk, if you'll print out the copies of the information for him. Yeah, I guess we need to arraign him on those. I believe he had a warrant out for his arrest and he got arrested on some new charges also.
Your Honor, can I just put it on the record that the jail is not giving my medication?
You just did.
Thank you.
All right, you've received a copy of the informations. Was information filed in both cases? All right, you prepared to enter a plea at this time?
I'm not, sir. I'm here to challenge jurisdiction.
Challenge it.
I'm here on special appearance to challenge jurisdiction, sir.
Challenge it then. Do what you want to do.
Okay, well, I'd like to see the the police officers' bonds, everyone involved.
I am going to deny your right to represent yourself based on the comments you're making at this time, unless you want to enter a plea of not guilty, no contest, or you want to stand mute on the charge. I'm not putting up with any of the sovereign citizen stuff. So if
I'm not trying to
well, then
sovereign.
enter a plea. You've been charged by way of an information. If you want to represent yourself in the correct way. I'm denying your, contesting the jurisdiction. I'm denying that. So enter a plea.
If I enter a plea, I'm just
Enter a plea. You can stand mute. You can enter a no contest plea. You can enter a guilty plea, not guilty plea.
I'm in dishonor. There's no controversy. I'm not denying any of the facts of the case, Your Honor.
Then what do you?
Is there a remedy?
You're at a arraignment now. This is when you enter a plea. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find the defendant has stood mute, which is the same as a not guilty plea. But I'm finding you for standing mute that you're not entering a plea. Has he got new felonies pending, or are they all misdemeanors?
The 233036 is a felony case. He was out on bond in 2352, picked up a new misdemeanor case here.
All right, we'll set him for October 16th at 9 o'clock for an arraignment. At any point in time, sir, you can ask an attorney to be appointed to represent you, and I'll appoint one, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
We've got Mr. Martin.
He claims to be an attorney, so he refuses to speak with Mr. Fanto.
I'm looking forward to it. All right, this is 241388, the state of Michigan versus Eric Joseph Martin. Sir, can you tell me your name?
Oh, not the Romans Desticate Trust, if that's what you're wondering.
Okay. Are you going to tell me your name or not, Mr. Martin?
Well, I just want to make it clear, I'm not the legal fiction corporate entity defendant.
Okay.
Maybe
All right.
if I give it
Sir,
name.
if you require accommodations to use the court because of disabilities, or if you require a foreign language interpreter to help you fully participate in court proceedings, please let the court know immediately. You are here today on count 1, domestic violence. There's an allegation that you did make an assault or an assault and battery upon Crystal Nicole Martin, a resident or former resident of your household. This is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail and or $500. A consecutive sentence may be imposed under MCL 750506A if the assault was committed in a place of confinement. Those are the charges against you. You've been brought to court on a misdemeanor charge, and you have the following basic rights: to plead guilty, not guilty, or to stand mute. If you stand mute, a plea of not guilty will be entered, and you may plead no contest with the permission of the court. You have the right to a trial by a jury and to have the assistance of an attorney. You have the right to an attorney appointed at public expense if you are indigent, meaning you cannot afford to pay for an attorney. If the offense requires a minimum jail sentence, this charge does not have a minimum jail sentence. The court determines that it might sentence you to jail, and the appointing authority, which is the court, would decide if you are indigent and appoint counsel if you are eligible. You may have to repay the expense of the appointed attorney, and you may contest your ability to pay the ordered fees if the court attempts to collect any costs for an attorney, and the court must then determine your ability to pay. Mr. Fanto, a court-appointed defense attorney, is present in the courtroom. It's my understanding he attempted to meet with you, and he was advised that you did not want to speak with him. Is that correct?
Because of the unfairness of the laws that would fraudulently assume if I take a lawyer that I would be giving up my right to be one of the sovereign people and be fraudulently assumed to be a legal fiction defendant, yes, I have.
Okay.
I have refused that a lawyer
Mr. Martin,
fraudulently represents me.
if you have a trial, you have the following rights: to call witnesses to speak for you at trial, and you could get an order signed by the court to require those witnesses to come to court. You have a right to see, hear, and question all witnesses against you at trial. You have a right to be a witness for yourself or to remain silent. And if you chose not to be a witness on your own behalf, the prosecuting official could not comment on your refusal to testify. You also have the right to be presumed innocent unless proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. If you plead guilty or no contest and your plea is accepted, you will not have a trial of any kind, and you will give up the rights that I just listed to you. You also have the right to be released on bond. If you are now on probation or parole and you enter a plea of guilty or a finding of guilt is made by a judge or a jury, it may result in a violation of your probation or parole. The court can sentence you to jail and fines plus cost. And the court must tell you on the record the name of the offense, the mandatory minimum jail sentence, if any, and the maximum possible penalty for the offense, including jail, fines, and both, which I've already done. Fines, costs, and other financial obligations imposed by the court must be paid at the time of assessment, except when the court allows otherwise for good cause shown. If you are not able to pay due to financial hardship, you can contact the court immediately and request a payment alternative. So those are your constitutional rights going forward, Mr. Martin.
I want to make it clear, I have been legally arrested here by barred away, okay, because he just went by her lies saying I kicked her. As soon as he walked through my door, I'm the one that called 911 on Crystal Martin, okay?
All right,
And,
sir, you have a constitutional right to remain silent, and anything you say with respect to this case could potentially be used against you in a court of law. So I would advise you at this time to remain silent with respect to the actual facts or allegations listed in the complaint and misdemeanor complaint, which I've read to you. Sir, are you gainfully employed?
Well, I wish to finish, before I answer your questions, I will answer your questions. I want to finish exercising my First Amendment right, freedom of speech, and continue what I was saying. Now, again, I was
sir,
illegally-
you are to appear in court as directed. I'm not going to argue with you, Mr. Martin. I understand your sovereign citizen argument. It's not the first time I've seen it or heard it. You are under the jurisdiction of this court. This court has jurisdiction under the Michigan Constitution and the laws of the state of Michigan. You are charged with a 93-day misdemeanor, sir. You've been advised of all of your rights. Okay, you have a First Amendment right, certainly, but you are here for an arraignment, not to lecture me on sovereign citizen beliefs, okay? I'm trying to get you through this and make sure you understand the process. You are to appear in court as directed. You're not to leave the state without permission of the court. You're not to commit any new crimes while released. You're to immediately notify the court of change of address or phone number. You're to have no contact with the complainant, Crystal Martin, in this case. Do you understand me?
No, I do not understand in that I do not stand under the charges, the false fraudulent charges, but I do comprehend. But as I was saying, I was illegally arrested in violation of my due process rights. There's not sufficient evidence for my arrest that I did any domestic violence. Bardaway just arrested me anyway. There's no video of me assaulting her. There's no, she did not see it. She just told a lie. I actually filed a PPO on her.
Sir, do you understand that you're not, to have no contact with Crystal Martin?
And then you need to tell her, do not come to my house. She keeps coming to my house so she can set me up with these lies because my sister keeps letting her over. I have no, I don't want to contact her, but she needs to stop coming over to my house. You know, I've been living with her 33 years.
Miss Maudlin,
Let me finish talking. I have the First Amendment right to talk. I have the.
Mr. Martin, it's clear to me at this point that you have no respect for the court. I believe that you're a danger. I can't get any information from you as to whether or not you have another place to reside, whether or not you understand the court's no contact provision. I need to know that you understand what I am telling you, because I am attempting to set a bond on your case. And if you want a bond on your case, you've waived your right to an attorney. And I'm trying to figure out, do you have another place to stay? Do you understand what no contact means? And if you're not going to express to me that you have an understanding of what I'm saying, and if we can't get on the same page about that, then I'm inclined to not give you a bond. Do you understand me? Officer, can you unmute the iPad? Do you understand me, Mr. Martin?
I comprehend you, yes.
Okay, do you understand that I said you were to have no contact with Crystal Martin?
Yes, but she needs to stop coming over to my house. I'm not trying to contact her. She's coming over to my house and she can make false allegations like this, set me up so she can have the whole house to herself, her and my sister. This is what the whole agenda is of her with my sister, Lisa Martin. Tried this before, even though I proved to the court before the video of my sister, Lisa Martin, trying to set me up with lies and try swinging at me, assaulting me. I have this on video, saying with Crystal Martin here. I have her on video swinging at me and dealing with the prior case she tried to bring me in. Okay.
So
I have the evidence that she is aggressive towards me.
Mr. Martin, does Crystal Martin live at the home on Clifford Street?
Yes, she comes over like for a day or two, and my sister lets her come over, and she stays there for a day or two. Yes, and then here and there.
Okay, so your sister owns the home.
No, she doesn't own the home thing. So my understanding is the bank really owns it. It's always been like my parents' house. But I don't even think really my parents own it because they didn't finish paying off the mortgage or whatever. So I think technically it's the bank's house, but me and my brother and sister have been staying there for a long time. Me there for like 32 years. My parents have passed away now. So now it's like a fight with them two. They're trying to take over the whole house by coming with false allegations, by telling cops, oh, he assaulted me all the time. There's no evidence. It's not true. It's a lie. There's insufficient evidence in violation of my due process rights. But Bardaway arrested me anyways, and this is just what she wants. So they can have the whole house to themselves. I even filed a case with Crystal Martin.
All right, so you're not to have contact with Crystal Martin. You're not to return Clipper in the city of Detroit or in the city of Taylor. I'm sorry. You're allowed.
Objection in violation of my due process. You cannot deny me my right to live at my house because of an unsupported allegation by her, which is a lie at that. Like I said, the cop had no sufficient evidence. She just told a lie, and the guy didn't even, Bardaway that is, the police officer, just came to me and arrested me right off the bat. That violates my due process rights with sufficient evidence.
Sir, you're allowed one visit to the premises to obtain personal belongings. You must be accompanied by a police officer.
And I want Bardaway. Well, hold on, I'm gonna let you finish. I'm just gonna finish what I got to say so you don't cut me off. And I want Bardaway arrested for his illegal arrest. I want Bardaway arrested for illegally arresting me. I want him charged for assault and battery for illegally arresting me and kidnapping.
Okay.
Because it was without my consent.
Mr. Martin, if you are not allowed at the Clifford Street address, where will you be staying?
I am allowed. I don't have nowhere else to live. That's my house. I'm allowed there. You ordered that. That violates my due process.
All right. He has a $2,000 cash bond with a GPS tether.
Yes,
and he's not to return.
Personal bond.
He's not to appear at night.
Innocent without guilty.
He cannot come to or be in contact with Crystal Martin. I've entered a not guilty plea on his behalf. And that's $2,000 cash with the GPS test.
All comments, viewpoints, interpretations, and insights expressed in this video are for education and entertainment purposes. All individuals featured in the video are to be presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Please do not attempt to contact, locate, or engage with any individuals featured in the video.